Hello, my name is Tommy Killebrew, and I'm a member of the Branches class at Wake Forest Baptist Church, and I have a devotional for you today. So the devotional I've chosen to talk about is the Golden Rule. This month and for the first week in October, we've been in Sunday school class studying about the Sermon on the Mount. And this past week, or the fourth Sunday studying about that, was called the Narrow Gate. And there was a lot of information in that one lesson, but one of the things that talked about was the Golden Rule. And the Golden Rule is found in Matthew 7, verse 12. It says, and this is the NIV version, but in everything do to others as you would have them do to you. For this is the law and the prophets. So in thinking about that, I thought, how do we apply that to our daily lives? And how is that a message to us, not only from Jesus, who was on the Sermon on the Mount, but from God as well? So I looked around and I found a devotional that seems to be perfect for that. It's from a gentleman named Stephen Whitmer, who is a pastor in Pepperell, Massachusetts. And this is what he has to say about that. Jesus' golden rule cannot be domesticated and downsized to the equivalent of an insurance aphorism or a fortune cookie slogan. That's not to say that many haven't tried. Here's how the golden rule is usually quoted. Whatever you wish others would do for you, do also for them. But that's not exactly what Jesus said. That version removes God entirely from the picture, making Jesus' teaching a godless rule for good people. The real golden rule goes deeper and stretches higher. It's a God-centered rule for grace-filled people. Jesus' actual teaching requires greater effort, provides deeper motivation, and is intended specifically for Jesus' followers. So here's what Jesus actually said. So, whatever you wish that others would do to you, do also to them, for this is the law and the prophets. God bookends the golden rule. So he comes in front of the word so and is the final word in this scripture, for this is the law and the prophets. The word so indicates that Jesus' teaching is his conclusion from what he had been saying previously. The entire Sermon on the Mount might be in view, but it may be that Jesus is thinking more specifically about what he has just said in Matthew 7, verses 7 through 11. There he tells his followers that God is their living Father and always gives good things to those who ask. Therefore, because God is so generous to us, we're to be lavishly generous to others. The golden rule is glorious overflow. Jesus' second reason for living out his command is this. For this is the law and the prophets. In other words, obey it, because God himself said it and always has. The golden rule sums up and fulfills God's commands found throughout the Old Testament, most pointedly in Leviticus 19, verse 18. Jesus knows we need deep, God-centered foundations and motivations for his command because his rule for life soars high above how we naturally think and desire to live. Many world religions have taught a negative version of this, saying essentially, don't do to others what you don't want them to do to you. The problem with that kind of teaching is that it can be obeyed by simply doing nothing. Jesus' command is much more demanding. It requires action, creativity, and ongoing love toward the people who are in our lives. 3 things Jesus didn't say are: number 1, Jesus does not say, whatever others have done for you, do also for them. He doesn't limit our good deeds that way. The measure of our service to others is not their actual service to us, but what we'd like that service to be. Whatever you wish that others would do to you, do also to them. Number 2, Jesus does not say, if there are a few things you wish others would do to you, do these also to them. He does not limit our good deeds that way. Instead, he says, whatever you wish that others would do to you, do also to them. And finally, Jesus does not say, whatever you wish your best friends and fellow Christians and people who like you would do to you, do to them. He doesn't limit our good deeds that way. He says, whatever you wish that others, whoever they are, would do to you, do also for them. Others encompasses anyone in our lives. Thus, we need God in the golden rule. Jesus envisions an ongoing way of life, not a one-off activity. He knows it will be challenging. That's why he begins and ends with the kindness and command of God in our lives. And he knows we need to be challenged. That's why he doesn't include all sorts of disclaimers about establishing appropriate limits and boundaries on our service. Most of us need urging to give more, not less. If we will put God back in the golden rule, we'll see that it's not a bland bit of moral counsel intended to improve us slightly, but it is a radical way of living that can be followed only by those who daily experience the infinitely great generosity of God in their own lives. Thank you for listening to this devotional today, and have a blessed day.